I just did a mini Euro trip and was shocked at what Paris is really like. What the beep happened to Paris? Every public area is filthy, polluted with litter, and there are intimidating adult males loitering. I did not feel safe taking the metro. They do not speak French or English. Beep, that was disappointing and I regret wasting time in Paris.
Honestly, there's so many better places in France to visit. Paris is overrated and mega expensive because of the name value and not the most clean city either. I'd recommend Bordeaux, Nice, Rennes in France. Europe-wise, there's so many places: Amsterdam, Berlin, Munich, Budapest, Krakow, Zagreb.
Paris is filthy. It's overcrowded and generally disgusting. Go to the more rural areas and there is some true beauty in France.
How did you manage to do that? Most European countries don't really allow international travel right now.
I was attacked at a subway station in Paris. After a late night of drinking, my friend and I got off at our stop around 3 a.m. I was in heels, and as I was walking up the stairs, someone kicked my heel out from under me. I fell down half the stairs, stood up, and screamed, "What the beep?" Around me stood like 5 guys with their hoods up. The guy who kicked me said, in English, "Go back to America, you beep pig." Luckily my friend is a tall woman with a deep voice. She told them off in French, and then grabbed me to go up the escalator instead. The assholes then hit the emergency stop button on the escalator and knocked everyone down that was riding it, including us. Nobody said a beep thing, they just stood up and started walking up the stopped escalator. Mind you, the station was packed with people. Not a single beep person stepped in to help us. Overall, I liked Paris, but not sure I go back. Edit, definitely got the time wrong. It was one of the last trains for the evening. Don't disagree with anyone. It probably was more like 1 a.m., but this happened 8 years ago, so forgive my memory.
Paris is honestly so overrated. There's way more beautiful places to visit in France, where you don't have to deal with constant crowds and can enjoy both nature and have loads to do. I've been there a few times and never cared for it. Although I do still want to visit for the catacombs, but that's about as good as it gets, lol.
Yeah, my first time in Paris consisted of a lot of aggressive panhandling and stepping in human excrement within 15 minutes of leaving the bus station. I wasn't planning to visit, but was a day ahead of schedule, so figured why not? That was why not. I turned around and got the next bus to Marseille and booked a hotel room for the extra night. Edit, I'm not bothered by crime or rough areas. I wound up living around Marseille for a few years after and would 100% move back today despite it being dirty and a bit dangerous / crime-ridden. It was honestly just gross and didn't seem worth it at that point.
Got engaged to my wife 10 years ago in Paris, and at the time, I thought it was up there with Rome for the most interesting and enjoyable European destination I'd seen. Sad to hear about its current state. What a waste. You got a mild case of this. https://n.m.wikipediaorg/wiki/paris_syndrome.
Paris has always been kind of a dump. Down and Out in Paris and London by George Orwell describes how beep Paris is. The Louvre is also extremely overrated. Unless you want to stand in line for hours and look at fakes and forgeries of famous paintings, you can spend your time better elsewhere. I was there 10 years ago and this is exactly how Paris was then, so doesn't sound like anything happened to it. It's been like that. If I ever go to France, I avoid Paris and go to the countryside. It's so much nicer and the people are nicer too.
How TF did you get into France, especially Paris, when they've been in varying stages of lockdown for the past 6 months? And why would you go when it's in lockdown? I live in France and it's hard to get in even with a visa for the past 6-ish months.
Import third world, you get third world.
Do you want the politically correct answer or the truth?
Wait till you read about Paris Syndrome. https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/Paris_syndrome.
Yup. Same experience as a French citizen. Paris's luxurious and shiny image is mostly there thanks to the luxury industry and the Eiffel Tower. But honestly, there are so many places that are truly incredibly beautiful in France. I recommend going to Ardèche when you can travel. Very nice environment, you can go swim in the river or go kayaking, you can do canyoning as well. Very cool place.